This is another episode of How We Did It. This is Sunflower Reverie. This was a high-key shoot that we did to really give us a nice, light, soft, and airy approach. The walls that we had were big, tall, white, so we had a lot of opportunity to control the light by bouncing light off of the walls. We really wanted to show a very clean, refined image using the grace and elegance of the pose, the fabric, maintaining detail and texture in the couch, and making sure that we didn't blow out any of the elements. We set up one light to bounce off of the wall, and this was going to be our main light. This light was on the right side of the frame so that the light would bounce off the wall and rake across the subject's body, starting from her head down to her toes. Doing that, this would also create some harsher shadows with the light coming from her head to her toes. So in order to fill in some of the shadows that are farther away from the main light, we used another light behind us to shoot against the wall at a lower intensity to fill in some of the shadows as it drapes down across her body from head to toe. Once the lighting was dialed in, we were able to focus on the subject's elegance. In this particular scenario, we're also letting the scene help us dictate what the final pose is going to be. Using the archways and the trees in the background as inspiration, we guided our subject to create a little bit of an arch with her body to mimic the archways of the background. Then to complement the background imagery of the trees, we needed some sort of nature element in the foreground on set. So we gave the subject a prop, which was sunflowers, and used that to also curve down to her body and use that as a connecting element from reality to the backdrop. The last piece of this puzzle was using the complementary colors. The subject's red flowing hair was something that we wanted to really utilize and enhance, but we needed balance in the frame. So what we decided to do was use a blue cloth, which we felt would complement each other really well, and drape it across the scene, not so that it overpowers her in any way, but it was more of a background element to help balance the scene between the red, the blue, and the yellow colors that we had all coming together harmoniously, but none of them overpowering each other so that it's more complementary and subtle in the scene. And I think it really gives it a nice balance and pop when we look at the overall structure of how we've composed the image. And that's how we created this. It was a very simple and easy technique to execute. Sometimes less is more.